Now let's see about the disadvantages or cons of the microservices. So I have created three services like validation service, payment service, and processing service. Every service will request each other to pass me the data. Validation service will request to the payment service, payment service will request to the validation service will request to the processing service, payment service will also request to the processing service, and the processing will also request to the payment service. This all requesting is known as basically API proxy. When this much of requesting happens, so much of hops happen, so much of microservices, the processing will be more, the system will be slowed down, it may be shut down. So it will basically make a deadlock. It is basically known as cyclic dependency. Every service will be depending on each other, so it will basically make a deadlock. So what can be the solution for this? The solution for this is only one. We have to approach by a hierarchy. We have to define which service can talk to which service. If validation service is allowed to talk to the payment, or the payment service is allowed to the processing service, and vice versa. We will have to make a hierarchy. Validation can call processing, processing can't call validation. We have to code for that. For this, each services needs to be keep sending logs to a software. If the load is less, what will happen to the particular log service? So we have to maintain it through basically a software known as, one of the major software is Kibana. So we basically are using ALB, that is for load and balancing, application load balancer, which will take care of both routing, and based on our setup target groups, it will also take care of the scaling, that is we have learnt about it, vertical scaling or the horizontal scaling. So we are not basically using some third software service registry. Next one is API gateway. We can add a custom logic into our application, that is API gateway. At run, we will run this logic. Before handing over this request to other services, we will have to run that API gateway. After that, we have some terminologies we can explain, or I can discuss it, like basic of what is it. First one, we have standalone application. Second one is we have web app. Third one is distributed app. Fourth one is microservice app. Fifth one is web service. Seventh one is REST SOAP, and sixth one is MVC application. So what are a standalone application? It basically, it doesn't need any kind of internet. It will run on a single machine, and the code will be on single machine. It will run on a single machine. It doesn't need any type of thing. Now what are web app? The application which are running on a single machine but can be accessed over the internet by anyone. By anyone means client, that any client can access that website. It is basically known as web app. Distributed app is also a kind of web application that basically runs on a multiple service, multiple server, or a multiple machine distributed across the internet. Microservice app is also a type of distributed application. We have 9 attributes that we have discussed earlier for this microservice app. Next one, we have web service. How basically web services connect with each other when distributed to other services. For that, we have also discussed about HTTP. We have to use HTTP protocol to make the call. So for this, we have SOAP, we have REST standard, we have REST full web services. After that, we have something known as MVC. MVC is basically known as model view controller. So I'll be explaining about MVC. in an upcoming video. So you can learn it about this 9 major architectures what I have discussed. You have to learn about these and understand it what I have taught you. I will discuss about MVC and other things in an upcoming videos. So yeah, that's it.